No, we're not starting the laws of Rosh Hashanah yet.
When?
Okay. Okay, let's start a little bit. Avi reminded me, we were learning Hilchas Muksa for a day or two before we got to Pesach. Anyway, so we'll do Muksa at a later date. I want to discuss a little bit the dinim of the entering of Shabbos, so to speak, candle lighting, Kiddush, the meal of Shabbos, Lechem Mishnah. There's a lot of practical dinim that apply every week. Okay, we know there's a rabbinic mitzvah of lighting Shabbos candles. It's one of the 7 rabbinic mitzvahs. That's why we make a bracha. Either Shal Shabbos Kiddush, Shal Shabbos, the various different texts. There's 2 reasons for lighting Shabbos candles. One is what's called Kavod Shabbos. It's the honor of Shabbos because, as we know, number one, when the place is festively lit with candles, it's a more festive environment. Some poskim say even if you have the regular electric lights, but the fact you, like even by a wedding, let's say, you have electric lights, but they'll still light candles. The candles create a festive atmosphere. And the second reason is, also part of this is Einik Shabbos, which means when you see what you eat, you enjoy it much more than if you're sitting and eating in the dark. Why? Who knows? But this is the fact. When you see the food that you're eating, it makes it much more full. The second reason, those are 2 part of one reason, Kavod Shabbos. Number one, it's more festive, and secondly, you enjoy the food better because you have lights. The second reason is, as the Gemara calls it, Shalom Bayis. Why? The Gemara uses the expression, Shelei Kashul Be'etzu Be'even. If you don't have lights on, and you're going to walk around the house, and you're going to trip on something, and fall on something, and bang into something, so everybody's going to scream at each other, as most people do. So therefore, you're not going to have Shalom Bayis. So we want, especially on Shabbos, always, but especially on Shabbos, it should be the concept of Shalom Bayis. In fact, the Gemara says that Shalom Bayis comes before a lot of other mitzvahs. The Gemara says in Shabbos. But anyway, so what's the difference between these 2 mitzvahs, these 2 reasons? It's a very big halachic difference, and therefore poskim say we do both reasons, meaning as follows. According to the reason that it's festive for Shabbos, and you could see the food better, that would only apply in the room that you're eating in. The room that you're eating, it's festive meal, and you see what you're eating. The rest of the house, you don't need to have candles burning. You don't need to have lights. But according to the second reason, Shalei Kashul Be'etzu Be'even, that you shouldn't trip and fall on something. So then, according to that reason, any room that you're going to be using on Shabbos, you need to have lights on. Right? So therefore, halacha says we do both reasons, meaning as follows. You light candles in the room that you're basically eating in, because then it's festive and you can see what you're eating. But any room that a person is going to be using on Shabbos needs to have some type of a light. So in the time of the Gemara, obviously, in the time of Shulchan Aruch, they only had candles. There was no electric lights. So they needed candles. Nowadays, poskim write that if you have, let's say, in another room that you're going to be, a den, a living room, a dining, whatever, that you're going to be using, so halachically you need to make sure there's a light there, at least a little light, that you shouldn't come, God forbid, to fall and hurt yourself and do the crazy things of Shalom Bayis.
In the bedroom?
Huh? In the bedroom, the custom is to have a light, but you can have a light that you can either close it or have it on in the closet light, and then you can close it for various reasons.
Is it enough for, let's say, the living room's light spills into the room?
Again, it's not Kabbalah. As long as the room has light that you're using, that you can see where you're going, and you're not going to trip and fall on something, then it's good. Then it's not a problem. So those are the 2 reasons, primarily why a person needs to, why a person, I'll say why in a second, a person should light the Shabbos candles. Now the chiyuv, the obligation of lighting Shabbos candles is on every person in the house. You're in a house, you have to make sure there are candles. But one person can light for everybody. So the custom is that the women are the ones that light the Shabbos candles. Why do the women light the Shabbos candles? So a few reasons. Number one, they're home, it's their abode, so they're around all the time. And secondly, the reason is because The Gemara uses the expression, he kavsa neir shalelam, when she calls Adam Marisha to sin. So Adam Marisha was called the candle of the world, and she caused them to sin in the Eitz Hadas. So therefore she extinguished the light of the world. So therefore she should be the one rectifying and bringing light into the world. So that's the reason why, two reasons why women are the ones that light candles. But if a man is living alone, or he's away, or the wife's away and he's home, so even though she's lighting Shabbos candles wherever she is, there's still an obligation on a man to light Shabbos candles. Girls that are away at seminary, boys that are away in yeshiva, even without the Rebbe's campaign that girls from the age of 3 should, light Shabbos candles. Halachically, it says that if a girl is in a seminary room, in a dorm by herself, she has a halachic obligation to light candles. Somebody has to light candles. If she's over bas mitzvah, then there's a halachic obligation that she has to light candles. Bachim that are away in yeshiva, they need to light Shabbos candles. So usually what's done is in the kitchen, where there's a dormitory, so usually you have one bacher that does the candle lighting and has everybody else in mind. Or a girl, if the girls are eating together in a dorm. What?
If the wife is away and the husband's home with the girls, so you have those campaign that they're like, can we be so that they're lighting, or does it not?
That's a big controversy amongst my colleagues. There are people that say that if the wife's away and you have girls over bas mitzvah in the house and they're lighting, so then the husband doesn't have to light because there are candles in the house. Yeah. Other people like myself, I'm not the only one that says this, by the way, thinks that the husband has to light anyway. The chiyuv is on him, it's his house. The girl, what the Rebbe instituted is girls are lighting for chinuch. Even a girl lights over bas mitzvah, locher al pi din, if the mother's in the home, she doesn't have to light. She's like the Rebbe wanted it for chinuch purposes, yeah? I'm saying if there's other people in the home. So locher, the chiyuv is on the husband. She's doing it for chinuch. So therefore, I personally feel that even if there's girls over bas mitzvah, the husband, if anything, the husband should light first. And then the girls, then he's doing for the chiyuv, and the girls didn't do it yet, and then the girls should light. But I believe that they should both light. What? Huh?
Can they be shlichus for him?
Can they do it for him? Yeah, but first, the chiyuv is on him. Why shouldn't he ben shlicht? Now, even if somebody, there's another discussion in halacha, if somebody, God forbid, is in a hospital, not God forbid, they're having a baby. We said many times, the only reason a person should be in a hospital is to have a baby. 1 second. Well, he's not having a baby, I hope. No. But I'm saying, if a woman is in the hospital, you get this every week, and Ed Vidov gets this every week. They're in the hospital, so what do you do with lichbenchen? There's a discussion in Poskim, but the prayer we hold that most Poskim say they can turn on the light. They could turn on the light of the room, the electric light, and they can even make a bracha. Okay, the woman that benches licht, the woman that lights candles according to halacha except Shabbos. Sometimes b'shas hatchak godol, and there's certain cases I'll say in a second. So then she could light out tonight. She's not mekabel Shabbos yet. The man al pidin, it says in halacha, a man is not mekabel Shabbos with candle lighting. So even if a man lights candles al pidin, he's not mekabel Shabbos. But there are poskim that want to say a man should also make it tonight when he's lighting that he's not mekabel Shabbos. I'll give you a simple example. In Shulchan Aruch it says, this is what I was coming to now before we get to the... In Shulchan Aruch it says that before a woman lights Shabbos candles, it's appropriate for her to daven mincha. It says in halacha she should give tzedakah, she should daven mincha, she should be dressed already Shabbosdik, because she's doing the mitzvah, welcoming the queen, so to speak, right? So she should be dressed Shabbosdik already. She should daven mincha before, give tzedakah before, and then she should light the candles. What happens if a woman's running late, and she didn't daven mincha or whatever, she's not... So then halacha says she should make a condition when she's lighting candles, that she's not accepting Shabbos yet. But according to the Alter Rebbe in Kunta Sachnin, in Shulchan Aruch, it comes out that even if a woman is not Mekabel Shabbos, somebody in the house must be Mekabel Shabbos within 10 minutes of her candle lighting. So Kunta Sachnin, there's a lot of... according to Alter Rebbe, somebody in the house has to at least be Mekabel Shabbos within 10 minutes. In Shulchan Aruch it says like this: a woman has to bench and go to the mikveh, and she wants to drive to the mikveh. So again, what does she do? She bench, sometimes she could bench licht in the mikveh, but let's see, that's not a possibility. So she'll bench licht, make a condition that she's still going to go in the car, but then she needs to make that somebody else in the house has to be Mekabel Shabbos. This happens a lot the night of Kol Nidrei, Yom Kippur night. Women lighting candles, they want to drive to shul. They don't want to walk. They're fasting already. They're already just fasted, but everybody's crazy already. And they want to drive, so the din is they have to make a condition that they're going to go in the car. But somebody in the house over Bar Bas Mitzvah has to be Mekabel Shabbos. Because otherwise it's not nikah that the lichter look of Shabbos. There are contemporary poskim that want to say that today, because we have electric lights, so anyway, the candles are noticeable, it's for Shabbos. So then anyway, you see that it's for Shabbos, but it's still debatable.
How many candles are necessary?
Halachically, one candle is enough.
What's the maximum?
You could light 395. I mean, if you want to. But the problem is, once you do it 3 times, then it becomes a vow, and then on Hogateva, so then you have to keep doing it, unless if you're matin neder. The accepted tradition in many, many homes is the husband light 2, and for every child they add 1. But as we'll learn details of it later, if a woman forgot to light Shabbos candles 1 week, she forgot, negligence, basically. Not that she was in the hospital or she was negligent, she forgot. So then the custom Shulchan Aruch says she has to add another candle. And once you add it, you have to keep it. I had a lady called me today. She was about Yondu Shabbos, and she wasn't feeling well. She mamish was sick. And she went to sleep, and she set the alarm to wake her up, but she wasn't feeling well, so she slept through the alarm, and she woke up, it was too late to bench licht. So that's more of an einus. That's not that she forgot to bench licht. She was pushed sick, and therefore she fell asleep through the alarm. You're not going to say that she forgot to bench licht. On the contrary, she set the alarm that she remembered to bench licht. So I told her she doesn't have to add another licht.
It's 3 times, and then they have to do it forever, or 1 time?
What?
If they add a candle.
No, once a year forever.
You said 3 times with regards to...
No, if you do 395.2 candles 3 times in a row, then you have to...
Wouldn't be even 1 time?
No.
It's not the same.
If you did it once, it's not a neder.
I'm saying why with regards if she forgot it 1 time?
Because halacha says to make her remember what she did wrong. So from now on, she has... There are poskim that hold, not too many people poskim, there are poskim that say she can use the same amount of candle, but a bigger candle. But the accepted minig is that they add another candle. What? She forgot again, she lights another candle. Now, so what happens if people become religious in their 40s? And then, so obviously they didn't forget to bench licht, they just didn't know about it. So then it's not forgotten. What?
Well, let's say a lady lights 10 candles every week, and then she goes away to a Shabbat.
No, that's, okay. Many women have a custom, let's say they add for each kid. So let's say they have 5 kids, so they light 7 candles, yeah? But many, in fact, halachically it's brought down that that's only in the home. When they go away, many women have a minig of lighting only 2. They light only 2 because that's the chiyuv. The truth is an interesting din. In